Okay, so this is part 2 of my Wrestlemania review. Um, so I had just finished the Divas Battle Royal. Shit. So next we had Jericho versus the Legend. And you know what? I'm going to say that this was actually better than I thought. For a couple of reasons. One, even though Piper and Snuka could not move, they kept them out there for most of the time. They both got eliminated pretty fast, and Steamboat looked great. Steamboat looked very good in the ring. He could move around. I mean, he's chubbier than he used to be, but the guy's, I don't know how old. I mean, he must be nearing 60. So that is impressive. Very impressive, actually. So I thought that was good. And then Jericho went over. Ho ho! This was actually not as bad as I thought. Jericho was not made to look like shit at all, so he actually looked decent. And yeah. And then he cut a good promo, and then Mickey Rourke came out, and what the fuck did they waste so much time on? I mean, honestly, Stone Cold Steve Austin was there, because we saw him later. He drove around the ring and drank beer. Why didn't he pop up here? How come when Mickey Rourke got out into the ramp, into the the ramp, he should have turned around, and then we would have heard the glass shatter, and it would have been awesome. I would have marked out big time, and I don't care if he just had a beer bash with Mickey Rourke or if he just stunned Jericho. It would have been awesome either way, and it didn't. It was like, ooh, let's have our little boxing match. Oh yeah, ooh, knocked him out. Oh, knocked him out. So that was trash, like the rest of this pay-per-view essentially. Then struggling to think what came up next, because I think it was JBL Mysterio, but I thought there were more matches on the card. So I am not quite sure about this. Yeah, so let's just go with JBL Mysterio. Anyway, JBL comes out. He cuts a brilliant promo. Brilliant. I thought it was great. Like most of JBL's promos. He's just walking around cutting a great promo. Then Mysterio comes out with this sick-looking Joker mask, which was awesome. He comes down to the ring. I'm like, okay, this is the match that I'm predicting is going to be sleeper match. Because I like their past matches. Sleeper match of the night. I think it's going to be good. And then when they were doing the introductions and JBL booted him in the face, I said, genius. I said, what brilliant, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking that. Maybe I just thought it was brilliant because the rest of the pay-per-view was so bad that this looked great in comparison. And then, what the fuck happens? Mysterio hits an Enziguri, hits the 619, the Jesus splash, and wins. And I was like, oh no, WWE, what the fuck, dude? This is the first time you defend the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania in 8 years, and you give it 21 fucking seconds? What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly, not to mention that with rumors that JBL is retiring, and he quit after the match. If that was his last match, then I fucking feel bad for the treatment he got. That was bullshit. At least let him have a good match. Fuck. Dude, even if they're just giving it 5 minutes. But 21 seconds? Are you kidding me? That's absolute trash. That's like fuck off. Trash. Oh, there's a match I forgot about. The Hardys match. Another trash match. So they come out. I started eating dinner during their entrances. I come back. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think they're both okay. I don't criticize them as much as other people. They can take bumps. Then the match started. This had to be the worst possible thing that they could do. This was literally mindless weapons They just took weapons out for the sake, because they're the Hardys, that they have to use so many weapons that the ring is cluttered and you can't see the floor. I mean, fuck, Matt Hardy used a vacuum cleaner. A vacuum cleaner, if you're gonna use it as a weapon, it should be in like a comedy match, not in what's supposed to be a serious feud. Owen Hart is probably rolling around in his grave with Brett rolling around on his couch because of this. I don't even know what I was trying to say there, but this was such trash that I cannot believe it. I mean, people probably are going to give it good ratings because they had high expectations, which is what people do. They say, oh, it's a hardcore match. Well, you know what? They say, I've actually heard people say, you know what? The match sucked, but it had weapons, so I'll bring it up a couple stars. Just because it had weapons doesn't make it good. This was useless use of weapons. They had no psychology whatsoever. You know, I'm starting to think that all those good matches that Jeff Hardy had with Triple H and Edge were because of Triple H and Edge and stuff. I'm starting to think that both of these guys are useless pieces of shit in the company. And I've defended them before, but after this, they gave time and, like, just time to be creative, and it was absolute shit. It was the crappiest thing that you could possibly do, except for the finish. The finish was okay with the twist of fate on the chair. And one thing about twist of fate, look, when Matt Hardy hit the first twist of fate, which kicking out of finishers pisses the fuck out of me, especially when this isn't even an important match. He made it so obvious that Jeff wasn't going to kick out. It was like at the beginning of the match. There was no tension at all. He just hit it randomly. Well, of course Jeff is going to kick out. He hit it like it was a regular move. Like, he didn't even believe, like, it could finish the match. Oh, God, that was bad. That was bad. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? No wonder the old-time fans don't watch wrestling anymore. It's because of these two shithead-type wrestlers. This could have been on a trashy indie show. This could have been on an XPW or CZW show. It was just a trashy hardcore match. Trashy. Except there was no blood. That's it. It was just trash. Anyway, so, then the next match was, I think, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. And when these came on, I said, breath of fresh air. Finally a good match is going to come on. And you know what? It was awesome. It was awesome. This saved the pay-per-view on its own. I mean, the fact that, one thing that pissed me off, Shawn Michaels came down to Mordecai's music. I hate you, WWE, for killing Mordecai's gimmick. That was a great gimmick. I don't care what anyone says. So that pissed me off. It's just like reminding me that they killed what could have been a good gimmick. But anyway, the match came on. You know, at the beginning I was like, it wasn't that special. I thought they botched the switch in music, but I realized what they were trying to do, that Undertaker was avoiding it. Either that or Shawn Michaels just covered up incredibly well. Which is possible, because that's the type of thing he's good at. There'll be a mistake and he can cover it up. And then there was this spot, right, where Undertaker went to do Shawn Michaels went to do a moonsault on the outside, and he botched it. But this was a botch that was okay, because it made it look so sick. It made it look like he killed himself on that. And then Undertaker came in, and he did his dive over his yearly Wrestlemania dive over the top rope, right? And Michaels pushed the cameraman into the way, and Undertaker nearly killed himself here. He landed straight nosedived on his head. That was pretty damn cool. But then it was just awesome match, back and forth. It had me believing that Shawn was gonna win. And if Shawn had won, I would have killed someone. And you know what? I complained about the repeating finishers before. But in this scenario, I think it's okay, because this was the most important match at WrestleMania. So this is the one of the few situations where it's okay. And